Okay, we are back with a late recap of the Blue Jackets losing to the Lightning in Tampa Bay. Final score of 1-4. So the Blue Jackets in their two-game trip to Florida only coming away with 1 goal and 0 points. Not exactly a very fruitful and productive outcome for these two games. However, I do feel like there were stretches of play for the Blue Jackets where they looked competitive with these teams. And at this point in the season, with this Blue Jackets roster and how the season has gone, looking competitive and showing a good effort might be all we can really expect against, especially a team like Tampa Bay, who is looking like they might be a cup contender yet again. Well, not looking like they might be. They definitely seem like they are a cup contender yet again this season. It was Tarasov versus Brian Elliott in the battle of the goalies in this game. I feel like the Blue Jackets had a pretty solid effort all around. Although definitely Tampa did have, I think they had more of the jump coming out early, but that might be expected from the home team and also just the Lightning being the Lightning and who they are. I do feel like the Blue Jackets did have a good response throughout the rest of the game. Daniil Tarasov with a save of the year candidate in the first period on a Tampa power play against Kucherov. You've probably already seen it. If you haven't, then I would suggest to look that up. Just look up Tarasov save, and it's probably the first thing that you see. I haven't checked, but I would imagine just, or even just Tarasov, just that alone is probably going to make the highlight reels, and that's going to be played as save of the year candidates for NHL videos for quite some time for this season. And I feel like he would make some more impressive saves as the game went on. And I don't really count any of the goals as like a really bad gaff on him. Maybe you want to see him stop that first goal, maybe, but the other ones I thought were just kind of prime chances that Tampa Bay took advantage of, and the other two were just nice, chances from prime points on the ice that the Tampa Bay Lightning got, and that Tarasov maybe like to see him stop, but like he can only stand on his head so many times. I thought the kid line of Kent Johnson, Cole Sillinger, and Kirill Marchenko did pretty well. They were rewarded with a lot of third period shifts. However, I'm a little wary on the messaging of that third period. I'll get into it after I'm kind of done recapping this game. That Kirill Marchenko goal came from a really nice Cole Sillinger feed. Sillinger with a really nice pass there, and Kirill Marchenko finding his spot from the circle. Hopefully, with that nice assist, that can get Cole Sillinger going. This is a team that they're kind of counting on him to maybe not be a top-line center or be like that really offensively dynamic guy, but they are definitely counting on him to step up, and they thought there would be a little bit more of a gradual progression this season that we haven't seen yet. So if Cole Sillinger, if that's what gets him going, is that really nice pass, then hopefully we can start to see more production as far as the scoreboard sense. But I do feel like Cole Sillinger is doing a lot of nice things. It just hasn't necessarily translated to a bunch of points yet. But I do feel like if Cole Sillinger can get going on that end, then this Jacket season might not be as much of a waste as it looks like right now. And hopefully into the future for future seasons, that can continue to improve. Heading into the third period of the game would be tied at 1. However, with about 11 minutes left, Braden Point would break that tie on a rebound chance. Whenever Braden Point scores, it seems like the CBJ are, at this point, they're unable to win once Braden Point gets a goal. So sorry about that, and that's proved to be the case. And then Hagel would beat Tarasov on a one-on-one. He pretty much had a free shot at Tarasov. It was a nice snipe. The score was 3-1 at that point. That felt like a backbreaker. I think there was less than 7 minutes left once that goal took place, and it just felt like at this point, not a whole lot of hope for the Blue Jackets to come back, especially with the Gaudreau and Laine lines kind of taking a back seat, where I know that Brad Larson might have been wanting to maybe send a message that like, hey, this kid line is outperforming you. We definitely want to give them more chances in the third. But also, Laine and Gaudreau might want to be out there a little bit more at the end there. And Hagel, also the recipient of the empty net goal. Nikita Kucherov passing it to him on that goal just to be a nice little sportsman there. But I feel like for a lot of this game, the Blue Jackets did keep pace with the Lightning quite well. I'm kind of wanting good effort from this team, and they definitely were up and ready to go yesterday. They just didn't really get a whole lot of opportunities to go in. Obviously, only just the one goal. So a little bit of a frustrating as far as a goal scoring standpoint. You get shut out against goalie Bob and the Panthers, and now you only get one goal while Tampa's playing their backup goalie. Maybe a bit of a frustrating experience, but again, they're playing hard. They're playing pretty competitive with these teams. It's just that the better teams are catching in on their opportunities, and the Blue Jackets, for whatever reason, just whether it's puck luck or just not great execution or lack of a finishing touch, they're just not able to get those chances that the better teams on their schedule are playing. But overall, I do feel like this was a decently played game of the Blue Jackets. It just, the score does not look like it, and it just didn't go their way. That's going to happen against Tampa Bay, especially on the road, and against teams that are just better than you at this point in these two franchises' paths. Hopefully, in a next season, this kind of game where the Blue Jackets have a nice effort results in more wins. But I think for right now, as long as we're getting a good effort and as long as we're seeing progress from these young players, then that's all we kind of get. And as far as the young players on this team, that Sillinger, Kent Johnson, and Marchenko line getting more ice time, I'm wondering if this is more of a message to the top six than it is an actual sign of faith in the young guys that Brad Larsen is showing. I'm not, color me unconvinced that this is definitely going to be a change in the philosophy for the lineup moving forward. Although I would be very pleasantly surprised if Brad Larsen did start to rely a bit more on this kid line on a bit more of a consistent basis, as we saw last night. They are capable of putting in really good performances and kind of not necessarily taking over a game, but definitely holding their own against good teams, good lines as well. So hopefully they start to get a little bit more ice time, start to get a bit more time to gel with each other. But again, color me a little bit unconvinced that this is going to be a major theme moving forward, considering the ice time that the kids have gotten so far this season. But maybe as the season goes along and the playoffs get less and less, it's already not a thing, but once it gets started to you're really hoping on math to work in your favor, then maybe the kids get played a little bit more. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have something to say about this in the comments below. I will see you at the next one.